Hello and welcome to Happy Pet, Happy Family Podcast. I am your host, Virginia, and today I have Lili and Lucky.
Hi. I'm happy to be here. I'm a little nervous.
Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. I'm just going to ask you about somebody that you know very well, love very much, I'm sure.
Oh my God. Yes. And that's the fur baby.
Yes, the baby, the fur baby that is asleep under the table as we speak.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, wait. He got up.
And he's not snoring. Oh, no wonder.
Yeah, no. Where did he go? Is he over by you, honey? Yes, he doesn't want to be acknowledged. Anyway, alrighty. So, how are you doing?
I am well.
In general, for life, is life good?
Well, life is life, I suppose.
Tell me a little bit about your background and in the veterinary field.
Okay. So basically, I started working for a very small practice. It was an average. We served the community. Like it was pretty much low income. And at first, we had a very large clientele. Everything was pretty much walk-in. And we did service anything from grooming and vaccinations, trauma. I don't know. It's like a one-time shop.
How many years?
I would have to say that was about 8.5 years.
Wow.
Long time.
Long time. All right. I just wanted to get that out there because I'm sure that the conversations we're going to have are a little more in depth than normal because I have interviewed people who are not in the veterinary field.
Oh, yeah. I know a bit of a thing or two,
Yeah, I think I do. Just a couple years. Just a little time.
I'm not going to toot my horn, but.
Okay. How many animals have you owned in your life?
I don't know, a very lot. So growing up, my brother used to kind of rescue all of these little dogs that he would find like wounded or like somebody couldn't keep. So at one time, I think we had and then, if she bred at one, pit bulls, they do not have a small birth. They have about 11 or 9 or 13. And so at one moment, we probably had about 15 dogs,
Wow.
But that was the puppies. And then, a lot of those, unfortunately, were rehomed because we couldn't keep that many pets, But then we would a lot of them were rescues, honestly, just in the street. Nobody wanted them. My brother would do that a lot. And then, we had just 3. But there's always been a dog or 2 in my life, since we were very little. First dog I had was Cujo, and he used to follow us around everywhere. Like, if we went to the park, he would follow us behind. Aww. If we went to the store, he would follow us behind. He would just...
What kind of dog was Cujo?
Honestly, he was like a Labrador, black Labrador Retriever, pretty basic, and he was probably one of the best dogs I've ever had. Aww. He was a puppy. Then he had Parvo. My mom grew attached, and he got really ill. And one day she was like, "Hey, Lucky, I'm sorry, Cujo, if you're still." If you're still alive, if you make it one more day, I promise you, I'm going to take you because, I guess she didn't have the money. We were real young at the time, so we didn't have any money,
Yeah.
And so
And Parvo's hard. Parvo's expensive.
Parvovirus is
horrible.
It's horrible, and it's a virus that lives in the environment. It's a virus that...
Everywhere. In Texas, I will say.
Well, it's, and I want to say that it kind of comes with spring. When your flowers bloom, it lives in your environment, and untreated, it can live there up to 9 years. And so, you have to sterilize and, of course, vaccinate your pets, guys.
PSA, vaccinate your pets.
Parvo was horrible. So
Parvo's
basically,
horrible.
he was shitting. He was blood. He was vomiting. He wasn't eating. We had carpet, so it was a pain. It was horrible. It was sad. It was. So she came home and he was still kicking, and she took him to a doctor, and the doctor gave him fluids and antibiotics, and it was a hard road for him, but he fucking made it. It is because
as like a kid, how old were you?
I was in middle school in 8th grade. I was probably like 13.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Still very young. Very young.
I didn't have any money.
Yeah, definitely as a 13-year-old, I'm sure there was no money to be had.
Man, that was sad, but thank God that he did survive. And after that, I don't know, he was just very thankful or something, because that boy would follow us around literally everywhere.
I believe that to be true. I feel like with a lot of the dogs that we kind of save their lives, they become almost more grateful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because my dog got hit by a car when he was 2, saved his life, obviously, because I was working at that time. And since then, he is attached and like ready to do anything for me.
For sure. I think they're very much like toddlers or children. Like they just kind of grow into you. Like at first they're like pets, and then, you're like, oh my gosh, I really care. Like, oh my God, no, please, nothing happened to this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they become really, 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 really important in your life.
Special.
And honestly, sometimes they become therapeutic and emotional support in a lot of cases. Like Lucky would come up to me and like lick my face if I'm sad. He'll try to like give me paw, like,
That's so sweet.
Yeah, and take Lucky, because we're talking about like how dogs are more thankful or more appreciative, or
like
whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
Lucky was a rescue, and he came in the clinic one day, and I was like, I want that dog. And she told me, oh, it doesn't work like that, Lily. Like I have to vet him first. We have to see what's going on. Then like the week later, they were like, hey, he has a neuter appointment. And then I was like, oh man, they told me he had like an application pending.
Yeah.
And I told them, man, well, I really hope that it works out for him, but if it doesn't, like, call me please, because I really want that dog.
Yeah.
And so it happened. I don't know why, and honestly, I'm very thankful. That was like 8 years ago.
That was fate.
Yeah,
that was totally fate.
He was very thin. He was heartworm positive.
How old was he?
He was about 1, even though we did have a heartworm test, obviously ran, and that's how I knew he was positive. Well, actually, I'm lying. The adoption papers told me he was positive. I didn't even look at his chart since we did the heartworm test. I just know I wanted that dog. Yeah. And he had the heartworm disease. And I pretty much said, oh, well, I'm going to have to treat him, right? So combination of a couple of things, antibiotics, steroids, and a medication, Oh,
you did the fast kill.
I did.
Good. Yeah, good.
I did. And so
and he was young, so.
He was 1, but we did radiographs on him, and it just showed that his kidneys, well, the doctor told me, how old is he? And I'm like, well, he was just rescued. So basically she was like, well, based on his teeth, I think he's about 1, but based on his lungs or his kidneys, I cannot remember what it was. I want to say it was his lungs.
Yeah.
She said that they looked about 7, and I couldn't believe it. So maybe it was the heartworm disease. And
yeah, it definitely had an effect on that.
Mm-hmm. He was crypt orchid.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he was. So he had to get all that taken care of course.
Okay, wait. We need to do like a count on how many things that your poor baby went through.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, it's been a road.
So wait. Before you got him, he was rescued.
Right.
So he was a stray for, do you know when they picked him up?
I don't know. I just know that, I mean, like if I was to, I don't have the exact date on my mind right now, but I want to say that this was about 8 years ago, sometime in March.
Okay.
So, yeah, we maybe just did about 8 years with me.
Wow.
He was 1, like I said, and I didn't have to like train him or anything, but he was a street dog. So in my house, he thought he could like throw trash cans and like dig through trash and like through all kind of trash at that.
Yeah.
So it took a while to like get him trained, but I didn't have to go to any obedience classes, and he turned out to be really good with kids and other dogs. All by himself. So I don't know where he came from. Probably the boxer in him. And then of course he was neutered. So he didn't have all that testosterone to like
to fuel him
and jack him up.
Yeah, and jack him up. So since you got him from a rescue, do you think that kind of affected how trained he was, or I guess was not?
No, at first, like I said, he didn't have any manners. He really didn't. But, sometimes you treat them like kids, right? So you got to tell them what to do over and over again, or tell them no.
Well, he had no discipline before you came along, probably. Maybe a little bit with the rescue, but.
And if you really look at his teeth, it kind of looks like he has some, like they're wore down. I'm not sure if he was eating
like he was eating rocks or something?
Per se. That's exactly what was on my mind, literally. But also maybe like chewing through a kennel or something.
Oh, yeah.
I know, telling. So that always comes to my mind. And so he was kind of bad. And I mean, you go, no. Or like sometimes you got to spank him, But I did it a couple times, guys. Sorry, not sorry. And he just turned out to be super amazing. Kind of like, you have good kids. You have those kids that are a little more high energy. He's a good kid.
Need a little more attention. Yes.
And he just unfortunately, I guess he just had a lot of medical problems. But other than that, he's been so good. Like literally, so good.
Cool. Well, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you name him Lucky?
Well, honestly, it came with him. That's the main reason why I didn't want to change it, because I didn't want to have him start over. I really don't know what his name was even before he got rescued, right? So having to change it then and then change it again, I didn't want to do that. But there is another fun fact about Lucky. He has a 3-leaf clover on the back of his rear tail, so on his tail base. And it's docked, so it looks literally like a clover,
Yes, it does, and it's so adorable. And he also has
a very, very unique mark. I guess you could call it a birthmark or some sort.
Yeah.
It's a heart. He has the biggest heart you will ever see around. It totally makes up for his personality, and I've never seen something like that. When I saw it, I was just very thrilled. But the primary reason why he was named Lucky, like I said, it's I didn't want to change the name, and then that clover, also very unique. So he gets more attention than I do when I go out, actually.
Lucky in his markings, he's got a clover butt
and
a big ass heart.
And a big old heart.
And he has a big heart because, oh my God, he's so sweet.
Literally, he is the sweetest dog.
I feel like he just wants to hold my hand and kiss me.
Yeah.
Literally.
All the time. I think he's, and he is my emotional support dog, guys, by the way. He's registered. He's got his certificate.
Really? I didn't even. Bro, let's get into that, please.
He just,
How did it start, though? How did you feel? No, I know it's not that hard.
I literally.
But how did you what motivated you to actually get him registered? Tell the truth. Tell the truth, because so many people have.
So he's my giant son, right? And he's my fur dog. He is. I needed to move, and unfortunately, his large size was a bit of a complication. All of the apartments, because I'm not ready to buy a house yet, guys. So off the record, take care of your credit, guys. It comes in handy later.
For real.
I was trying to get an apartment, and the breed was a capping of 40 pounds. Where am I going to hide all of 50 pounds of the other Lucky,
No, yeah.
So he's almost 100 pounds, guys. I weighed him today. Actually, he was not as heavy as I thought. He was actually 86 pounds. And I would say that he's probably lost about 6 pounds. And I guess that's good for his joints and stuff.
Yeah.
He had a little more flubber, but yeah. That's where he's at.
Wow.
But let's go back to the certification, or what I did.
Yeah.
I registered him because then I was like looking for different options, and everywhere you look, honestly, was like 30, 40 pounds. And so that was kind of like the only way. And so it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's crazy is I tried to do that at my apartments here and to like get it free, you know what I mean? And I couldn't get it approved.
Well, I didn't really care about the free charge. I really didn't. I was willing to pay for that. I was not gonna get rid of my dog, and so to me,
No,
it was
me
more
either,
like,
yeah.
to me, it was like, can I just please have my dog there? Like, whatever you want, I'll give it to you. That's my dog. Just kind of like,
Yeah.
please, like,
Can't be without.
yeah, correct.
Sorry.
I don't know. I'm
Cannot be
sorry.
without ever.
I have two daughters. They're 13 and 11, and I have no male children. And he's just I give him a lot of attention. My kids would probably be like, "Mom, that's my brother," and they know it.
They know it.
Yeah.
That's so cute. That's
Yeah.
so good. I mean, he's big enough to be like a full child.
Yeah, understood. Yeah, he'll
He's
get up
tall.
and
For those that don't like see him or aren't subscribed to my Patreon or whatever, he's a tall. What is he? Boxer, American Bulldog.
correct. So I haven't done the DNA
Thing.
testing or anything, but with my experience and knowledge and all the dogs I've fucking seen throughout the many years, almost a decade of doing this, I would say definitely he is a boxer / American Bulldog. Pretty much since you can't visualize him, he's all white. He's got brown pattern. Doesn't have
He's got freckles on his abdomen.
yeah, I guess you could say so. They're probably a darker shade of brown or
Yeah.
black or something. But they're just on his skin, not on his fur, ideally.
And then the boxer head.
Yeah, he does. But
Boxer
also,
mouth.
like,
But also kind of bigger.
more
Rounded?
like a mastiff boxer head. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Like,
just real big, and I don't know how to explain it, but
I feel
definitely.
like boxers have smaller heads, less muscle.
And it's
And
big.
American Bulldogs have more muscle, but like the same shape almost.
Yeah, and they're all very large,
Yes.
white, for the most part. So I know definitely he's got some of that. He's kind of lengthy and tall. At first, I thought he
That's
was.
what I'm saying.
At first, I thought he was Great Dane, and like
Okay.
mix,
Yeah,
and
like maybe he has.
and then I was like, nah. And eventually, I guess I should do a DNA test. It'll tell me literally everything he's crossed with.
I think it would be really interesting to see because
And-
he is a very interesting looking dog.
He's
Like he's just very
handsome.
tall. He
And
is very handsome. He's got a bow tie, by the way, everybody.
Oh my god.
Very worth it to go see that because he is adorable.
Well, it's definitely an accessory, but he's gorgeous.
It was a necessary necessary accessory.
Yeah,
Okay, what has been like what would you say is your biggest like hardest challenge with him medically? Or even like I guess in any sense, maybe behaviorally.
I mean, he's very strong, so he likes to push the gate open, and obviously when he gets out, that's a challenge because he's very big, and sometimes he leaps and he runs far real quick, and then. Well, anyways, he can just literally push that gate open sometimes, and I don't even know how he does that when literally, like, it's hard for me to even open it,
Yeah.
So he's
a big boy.
He's big, so
Yeah.
he'll just kind of jump up, and I guess, man, he'll get out, and
Does he run?
He's a runner. I will say that, yeah.
So is
So,
mine.
and you know what? It's so weird because he'll literally get out and run everywhere, but when it's time to come in, he wants your permission. Like, I have to tell him, come in, Lucky. You can come in. And then he'll come in. He'll just stare at me like, am I allowed here? Like, he'll go outside all day long. When he comes to come in, this is what I have to do. I have to tap my leg or I have to tap my chest and say, come, you can come in. And so he'll come. And that's so weird because I didn't teach him to do that.
That's so funny. Have you ever checked to see if he was deaf? Just because he's a white boxer.
Yeah, I did have it checked, but not by like a specialist. I inquired to the doctor, and he's not deaf.
Yeah. Did he do the squeaker thing?
I mean, just anything. You bang something, you
bang
snap,
something
you whistle.
behind
Yeah,
him
you like.
without them seeing. And
Yeah. It's pretty much, it was like any
He was like-
sound that you could make, whether it was a snap or you're clapping or you're banging, tapping into something, he can hear. Oh, yeah.
It's just, maybe he just chooses. And he's got to think about what you're saying when you're like, come on in, and he's like,
Honestly, I just want to say he's well mannered, and he's like, I don't know why.
Got to do what I'm told.
I don't know, because sometimes he does that to eat. I have to tell him, eat. You can eat now, and he'll eat. He'll just stare at me like back and forth at his bowl, and I'm like, yeah, you can eat now, and so he'll eat, and it's so funny. I didn't teach him to do that either.
He just wants to follow everything you say.
He's a very good boy.
I think that you are his world.
I think we all are their world, you know?
Yeah, I do.
We're all they got, you know? So I feel like once you have
literally revolves around us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you have other things to do, and you have work, and you have friends, and you have family.
Yeah.
They have you.
And that's it. And I think most people don't think about that.
I mean,
that's such like a mind-blowing like thing to think about perspective-wise is, you know, like your babies, that all they have is you. So like if you're letting them down, that's it. That's all they got.
I mean, I think a lot of the diseases and a lot of things could be prevented. A lot of people are just not educated. Yeah. Or don't have any money, unfortunately, you know?
Yeah.
I will say that Lucky is very expensive. So I only have Lucky for a reason, you know?
Yeah.
So growing up, they didn't really get much care. Like all the dogs that I told you I had at one moment or the other. Like, I didn't have all of them at the same time. There were stages in my life where I had this dog or that dog and something happened, or I got another dog and blah, 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 you know? But Lucky has been with me and literally like everything for 8 years, and I have been in the industry of the veterinary medicine for that long. So I try to take care as much as I can, you know? And so his vaccines, his obviously he had the heartworm disease, so his ProHeart injection, I love it, guys. I recommend it to everyone. I love it.
I do too. I have my dogs on it. It's so nice because I forget everything.
I'm saying I lose my keys and my phone everywhere.
Yes, everything.
Therefore, I think that the ProHeart injection literally is the best thing that was created.
Do it during the vaccines and forget about it for a year.
Exactly. It takes you out of the equation. Like, I don't see why not. It costs us right about the same thing. Like, why would you want to like do it otherwise? I don't know. So it's just, and I recommend it primarily for heartworm positive patients that have been treated, because you already run the risk of having heart failure after that. And, you know, heartworm disease can be treated, but the damage created by the worms while they're thriving and living in all that bacteria is going to be irreversible. And so only like an open heart surgery could fix that. And obviously, like, you know, that's horrible. Like, you know, your dog's heart has to work so much harder, and obviously grows, enlarges, and becomes failed or failing, and then you know they need medicine, and it becomes a chronic disease, which means more money. And you could have just prevented it with a ProHeart injection or some kind of heartworm preventative.
Just one little you know,
one little treat a month, which I'm sure a lot of people give their dogs a lot of treats a day. You know?
A lot of treats a month. Yeah, for sure.
Even daily, like, you know, you can't give them a treat a month. Really?
For their health. For their health.
Give them a shot once a year or once every 6 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How does Lucky do at the vet? I guess well, no, just in general. Like if he's getting things done, like vaccines, ProHeart, whatever. How does he do with us?
He's definitely not an aggressive pet. I would say that he's been through a lot of anesthetic procedures. Unfortunately, he's been attacked. Like I had another dog. She was very dear to me, and her name was Thea. She passed away about 4 years ago in April. That we're in June, guys, and so this past April. And that would have been 4 years from her death. And that was very tragic to me because I had her about 10 years.
Wow.
And she died from something that we call distemper. And basically it's a neurologic disease. And it starts as an upper respiratory infection. And then it becomes very, very, very
neurologic
and aggressive. So, you know, the treatment.
It's fast.
The treatment didn't work, and for the most part, distemper doesn't have a cure, guys. So definitely, again, vaccinate your pets. And, Yeah, so I had to, the treatment, which consisted of like steroids and an anticonvulsant, phenobarbital, to kind of like, get her to
Calm.
relax.
Yeah.
She was having
Yeah.
muscle spasms and twitches, and she was just kind of walking. And as she was walking, her tail was wagging and all. She wanted to walk, and she would just collapse and like hit the wall or hit the
Oh,
dresser. Or,
poor
like, it was
baby.
that was sad.
That was very, yeah, oh my
And she got sick when
gosh.
she was like 12. So we had her when she was like 2. Again, we kind of rescued her from somebody that couldn't keep her. She was very dog aggressive, and so her name was Fea. Fea in Espanol is ugly, and we didn't name her ugly because she was ugly, only because she
Acted
had a
ugly.
very ugly behavior. She was very aggressive. She was mean. She was like crazy. Okay,
Yeah.
like probably an inbred, and but she came around, and after a while, that's another reason why she never got vaccinated. She was so aggressive. I couldn't take her anywhere.
Yeah.
And so she never came out the house. Literally, like I
Oh.
mean, not out the house, but like at the backyard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, she could be on walks and stuff,
You
but
just
if
had
she
to be
got,
careful.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
she didn't care if you were a big dog, a male dog. She was gonna get you. You know.
Yeah.
And so she got lucky quite a few times. And at first, it was like, I wanted him so bad, and I was so selfish, I guess you could say. I brought him home, and that was an introduction that was rough, I would say, because I don't know, she got really upset with him, And so at first she didn't she didn't attack him right away. She wanted to, but my brother was there, thankfully. And so she didn't do it right away. Go a couple of days, she got him once. Maybe a couple of weeks, she got him again. Maybe she probably got him about 5 times, y'all.
Yeah.
And so obviously all that can create infection, and he did. Anytime that there's a puncture to your pet's, skin, it's gonna probably abscess, And so
Yeah. Medical care.
he needed intervention. And so that occurred to him, I would say, about 4 or 5 times, and everything else that we have discussed as far as his neutering. He was cryptorchid. From one of those attack wounds came a lump on one of his paws. And I would say that Fea, as a matter of fact, she was attacking him. They were playing just fine. And then
It got too serious.
hold on, there was this ball involved. And so they were running towards the same ball, and they bumped
And it
shoulders.
got too real.
Oh no, she was like, boy, give me that ball or something. She literally got him and went for his legs. And
Oh my
so he's so kind of, he's
God.
tall, So
Yeah. What kind of dog was Fea?
she was a pit bull terrier. I mean, pit bull terrier. She's a pit bull, but,
But like small?
she was smaller. Honestly, she was like 50 pounds.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Honestly.
how big mine is. Yeah. They're like,
I call them a shorty. Like, she really,
roly-poly pits. Because
Yeah, I
they're like
guess.
mini almost. But they're not mini.
but she was so mean and aggressive. Like, she was like, yo, I'm the queen here. Like, this is my house, And
Yeah.
I mean, we had her for so long. Like, she really was.
Queen
but,
bee, if you know
But
what
I wanted
mean.
Lucky, too, to be a part of that,
Yeah.
He deserved to be happy, too. And I wanted a dog of my own. That was really my brother's dog. Like, he's the one that did all that. And even though I'm
yeah.
the one that, like, took her to the vet and, like, when she got spayed or blood work or whatever, she needed. She also had heartworms, and she also got treated, by the way.
Yeah.
Because again, I didn't know anything growing up. So I mean, she was, yeah, it definitely hurt letting her go when she got sick from all that, and it was a hard decision. But I think I wasn't being selfish at all, and she was not having the quality of life that she needed. So, yeah.
How did Lucky take it whenever Kaya went on?
Fea?
Sorry. Why did I get? Oh,
Kaya
sorry.
was the pyometra that we had.
Kaya
at work.
was a patient of mine today. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah. So basically, it was, I don't know. I mean, after a while they
Was he
bonded,
sad?
So I couldn't really tell. He always
didn't
has
face
droopy
him
little
too
eyes.
bad?
Yeah, he always had, and we didn't live in the same household after a while,
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like,
okay.
I eventually got, like, my place, obviously, and, like, I got him 8 years ago. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
mean-
okay.
So eventually we moved on, and so she wasn't around, and they would be fine after a while, but
Yeah.
she's been gone 4 years, so,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's always hard losing a pet. They're our babies, even if they're not like our one and only. Like, I have like the dog I've had all my life, and it's been my dog, and he follows me and loves me forever. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I still get so attached to like every other dog in my life.
Well, I love dogs too. I feel like they're therapeutic, but honestly, I like felines too. I want to say that, hopefully, Lucky gives me a couple more years, but if he ever, goes and when, I would actually like a cat.
Yeah.
I would. I love cats too.
I had a cat before, and I didn't mind it. I actually liked it, but I think, I don't know, I kind of grew out of liking it as much.
It's got to be definitely a specific kind of cat, and I would definitely say that I would get something like a Bengal cat, or a Bengal is beautiful. Or a Russian blue cat, or a Maine Coon.
Oh, yeah.
They grow.
The one that everyone thinks they have, but they don't.
Correct. That's super. I mean, it looks exotic. It's long-haired. It grows large. It's probably about 30 pounds. I just want one. They look wintry. They have pointy ears. They're so furry. They're like amazing.
Yeah, they are. They're majestic, like truly majestic.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a Cornish Rex?
Maybe I have, but I don't know it by breed. Wow.
They're like, yeah, I know. It sounds crazy, but they have like almost like a very triangle pointy head, and it's small.
And they don't have ears.
They kind of do.
They're like barely there,
I guess. And then they have like really wavy hair, but it's really soft.
I get it.
Very loud.
So that's a different cat. But yes, I have seen those.
Cornish Rex,
I have seen them, but I just didn't know that that's what they were called.
Yeah.
Because they're so rare, and I've probably only seen about one or two ever.
I've only seen one ever.
Yeah.
I've only seen one ever. And I loved him. I fell in love with him immediately. And I was like, when I get rich, okay.
And then the other one, oh my God, I don't know why it's not coming to me, but it's not a rag doll. It's oh my God, but they're kind of earless. They basically have like this very, very tiny ears. They're so cute and so beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I love cats, yo.
Anyway, back to Lucky.
Absolutely. Or he's gonna start barking, getting jealous.
Yes, he's gonna be like, Mom, excuse me, you are not replacing me.
By the way, Lucky only barks for two reasons. Either he is outside and wants inside, or he is in a kennel and he wants out.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Literally.
He's smart then, because like it's just like immediately, what do I need? And I will tell you.
Well, honestly, Lucky's very intelligent. I don't know where he picked up all these tricks, but he can literally be maybe it's that 3-leaf clover he's got on his butt. He can literally open doors that have handles. Oh like my God. Not the round.
I believe it because of the way he like picks up his foot and gives it to you. It's
tall.
Different. Yes, and he's tall.
And so he reaches those. Trust me, he's locked me out of my home.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did. And I had to call maintenance. And at the time, Lucky was not on my contract or on my lease.
Shit.
So he got me in a lot of trouble, actually. I had to pay fines. And not only that, I had to pay for the maintenance to cut the bolt through my door because he was trying to open it so bad that he actually locked the top lock, the one that you need.
Oh my God.
To open from inside. And I was like, oh my God, Lucky, you just got us in trouble.
He would have lived in the kennel for a week, I swear.
I mean, he had this big ass kennel inside the house.
And
like
he got
literally,
out of it, huh?
It looked like a gazebo inside my house. Like, well, I mean, obviously not that big, but it was
a little
big.
bit of an over exaggeration. But he's a tall boy, so I believe you. Like a big.
He had space, a lot of space of his own, and he hated being in there. He would like jump up, and like eventually he tore the little tent looking thing, the little mesh or whatever.
Yeah,
I cannot recall.
Yeah,
and then he does not live in a kennel. He's basically roams free.
He's another one of us.
Oh yeah, I don't really put him in a kennel because like I said, he doesn't bark. He doesn't like growl. He's so lovable and kind. The only thing he's gonna like really try to go after is a cat.
Yeah,
and I can never tell if it's because he wants to play or because he wants to attack it.
Oh
so,
no, yeah.
So I can't let him do that.
Yeah, you don't want to find out.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
for sure.
He goes nuts.
What has having Lucky in your family done for your family, you think?
Oh, my brothers, everybody just comes. He's a big old dog, and he's so lovable, and he just wants to be like, he wants to be the attention for a little while. He greets you to the door when you come.
Mm-hmm.
Like after a while, he'll just leave you alone. But
He almost looks you in your eyes when he greets you too. He's almost like,
like
"Hi,
hi,
like how are you? I'm so glad you're here."
and give me a hug. Yeah.
Yes, I feel it.
Yeah, he's very warm. I don't know. He's very loving. And I would say that's good. He maybe just picks up on what he sees a little from me. I mean, everybody's family has moments.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say whatever, but definitely, I don't know. He's just something else, I would tell you.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm telling you, it's that big old heart he's got.
He's a sweet boy. What is your favorite thing about him? If you could pick one thing.
He's just honestly like
It's his heart.
I don't have to tell him very many times. Like he just listens.
Yeah.
He literally does whatever I want. Like he's so chill.
Yeah.
And of course, he's been with me for such a long time through like.
He just knows you.
I was single. I didn't have a partner. I had a partner. I lived with my partner. I fell in love. I broke up with my partner. Like,
He's been through it all.
been
with
through
you.
like a job and another
Yeah.
job and like school. And like, dude, it's been a long time coming. Like,
And he's been by your side the whole time.
yeah. So it's
He's
like
a down-ass dog.
like I have a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old,
Yeah.
and he is about to be 9 August 7th.
He
so
literally is like your
he's
last
my
child.
child.
Yeah, he's your
Yeah.
last one.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
So one that I do not have to
Discipline
worry
as
about.
much. Discipline
worry
as much.
about
I feel
school
that. I feel
and like
that.
college and all that talk smack that
Oh. No, he's a great addition for sure. What's your favorite memory? Do you have a favorite memory of like you and him?
Memories. Well, we have had a lot, I guess. Let's say the dog parks are always fun. He's well. There's one special moment when I do remember he got that tumor removed or that lump from his toe. He actually had to get his fifth digit removed, and he was basically. I don't know. He kind of fooled me a little bit. He didn't want to eat. He didn't want to drink. He didn't want to do nothing for me. And I wanted to give him his medication. And I just felt like he was crying. And I saw his eyes. And he was like, they were tearing. Like, he was literally crying. And so I laid with him. And I started crying. I just felt so bad that he was going through all that. And I took him to the doctor the next day. And he was happy. He was just... I don't know. He probably wanted some attention, but the doctor told me there's nothing wrong with him, Lili. Like, a worried mama,
Yeah.
But that day was kind of special because I felt his pain,
Yeah, you connected, like truly connected.
I don't know. It was just so weird. I was just like, wow. I didn't even know I could hurt so much for a dog. It was so amazing. But
that's your baby.
And then, of course, they're like so pure and their souls are like so pure. How can you like not care for an animal? Yeah. Like they're so pure.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on to my podcast, Lili. I
was
so enjoyed
so
it.
wonderful
to
actually be a part of it.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it, and I loved having Lucky here. He was so sweet, so wonderful. Yeah. I felt the love. My heart is warm after this crazy Friday we had.
It was very long, and he actually spent it with us, but he greets everybody, and he made it all that much better. And he's been sleeping, guys. He's
been knocked out. Like, I wish I was napping right now, honestly. It's time for bed.
It is.
It is. All right. Well, I can't wait to show everyone your relationship with Lucky because I love it. You guys are so sweet.
Well, thank you for having us, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Dogs that run, cats that squall.
Although I am a pet nurse, I am not your pet's nurse. The discussions taking place here are for entertainment and educational purposes only, and is not a substitute for medical advice. Do not use the information discussed here as a replacement for care, advice, or to diagnose your pet. Please take your pet to a licensed veterinarian regularly, and if your pet is having any issues. I am not liable for your pet's health or anything you do with the information shared on this podcast. Thank you for watching.